This is a little piece of poetry I wrote. It's called Beginnings. Wasn't always this way. Was a time when the water ran free and clear and the earth was lush and green and the sky was the color of blue that made you want to kneel down and thank somebody. Was a time, before the tick-tock, for the clock, for the breath was to breathe, for eyes could see, for being was to be. Was a moment when the sky was incandescent and free of all debris, not a bird nor plane or even a cloud drifting by, was clarity of thought as there was no thought. And you all know why? We had yet to slither from the muck or crawl from the pond. We had yet to integrate with the planet, forget about going somewhere beyond. We were still incubating in the scum of this pond, if you will. Little squiggly, wiggly, microcosmic motherfuckers. Hope I ain't being too shrill. We were with others in this primal puddle, evolutionarily puddling along. We was part of a chorus. We was all singing the same song. We shall overcome. God, get my slimy little wiggly squiggly ass out this cesspool, for we had a choice, for we had a voice. Shit, we were still fodder, food, and tiny little tidbits for the more evolved. Chomp, 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 chomp. Ain't nothing changed. As a couple, one of us squirmed our way into a neighborhood, a new neighborhood, a different pool, got a leg up, or was that a tail or a gill or a fin? No gender to men, split into two, a rib perhaps. We grabbed the bank of the river, slipping and sliding around in the mud and the mire, and we were touching each other, squirming in cosmic bliss. A tag team mud wrestling match. The winner is Adam and Eve B. Plankton. Those slimy mud-drenched amoebas that just climbed out that upscale pond by the strange tree. There seems to be lots of these trees around the ponds. And look, some of my wiggly squiggly brethren climb into the tree. Tree? How do I know what that be? A guess, a miracle perhaps. One by one, they slither into the branches, holding on to one another for support, looking quite snakish. As they morph into a long, slimy-looking thing with no eyes to see, no ears to hear, and no mouths to speak or eat, what is this they seek? Life. It is life squirming around under puddles of muck and mire. A new form is found. Did I mention the cosmic blip which created this shit? Did I talk about the spinning aimlessly through what we know as our universe? The speck of sand on some one another's beach, a speck of waiting for a big bare black foot to come down and squish all this nonsense and put us out of this our misery? I mean, we are on a beach, right? Some one another's Bahamas, stuck on the bottom of some alien's foot, toe jam of the most sophisticated kind, with a god and virus whom kill one another in his name. Hey y'all, here's another poem from the same series of love poems. Like I say, when I was dialing for women and trying to get comfortable with somebody, this poem is called "Lips to Lust." Here they are, these lips to lust, poised and ready to thrust, moist and wet, smeared with sweet juices of you. Tasty beads rolling past the tongue down round this throat, quenching this my desire. Like a combustible libation thrown towards a smoldering fire, igniting, exciting, and burning so very deep, and slowly lips part. Guttural sounds surround the two of us. We lay, panting, collapse in hunger, waiting for this communion to pull us under. My hand moves slowly down your back. This is wonderful, this is. I can feel the wetness on the tip of my fingers from intimate places. Once again, this sweetness I bring to taste, to waste me, wanting, wiggling, withered, weltering under your gaze. So much is made of this. The kiss. Here's a little poem I wrote a few years back when I was single and looking for women. It's called 2.5 Weeks. Almost every day seems special now that she be round. And even in delirium, pants don't come down. Get to know me and show me who you are with energy and soft to touch, yet not giving too much. Hey, talk to me with smiling heart and eyes. Forget about parting Galapagos thighs. Sharing space, time, letting silence grace us. I'm glad you're right to friend, and although I squirm envisioning arms and legs entangled in moist glistening bliss, I know there is something far, far more intense and special in wanting to wait, holding embrace at bay, letting wet tongues taste familiar lips and hips, steady revolving, dissolving in time to music played by another hero. I handle that. I know the tune, it has wooed me as well. Hell, I think I've even danced to it a time or two. And now that I prance to this band inspired by your song, and even at times find myself tapping along to your beat, I can hear another score being composed. A collaboration, a symphony of heads, hearts, and hands. Can you hear it? It's soft and low. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Almost every day seems special now that she be round. Can you hear it? Listen. It's off in the distance. It's kind of a high-pitched, sweet, mellow sound. Can you hear it?